Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Wednesday, February 21st. We'll get this train rolling. Just college basketball going on today. Tomorrow we get back to a full slate of NBA to go with college basketball as well. Plus we'll have some golf stuff, I'm sure, for this weekend. So do make sure you check out the Google Sheets at the end of the episode, as we'll update those with any golf action that we have as well coming up. So if you like to bet multiple sports, this is your spot. We'll tell you what we bet on. We'll show you the results, and they've been extremely profitable for all the seasons. So make sure you check that out when you get some time. But we'll get right into the college basketball slate. First game we're going to be on is actually going to be St. Bonaventure going against LaSalle. St. Bonaventure traveling to LaSalle, laying roughly around 6, depending on what book you're at. Total around 145.5. This is more of a fade against LaSalle than probably anything else. St. Bonaventure's been okay. LaSalle's just been poor. So we're going to we'll lay the 6 with the Bonnie, St. Bonaventure here. So St. Bonaventure minus 3.5 first half. Minus 6 for the game. One more time, St. Bonaventure minus 3.5 first half, minus 6 for the game. Next game up for us going to be Duke going to Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. Duke laying 6.5, roughly the number now. Looks like that line could move at a couple different books, maybe get to 7. They haven't played each other so far this season. Duke's definitely been the better team in the ACC, but this seems to be not an easy place to play for Duke, and we kind of, even though it's a small team for Miami going against Duke, Duke has a huge advantage on the inside here, but I think the speed of Miami might be enough. Home crowd kind of get it through. I mean, this is a big total game, right around 150, so it's not like it's supposed to be a low-scoring game either. So we'll give the edge to the home team here, and we'll take those points and put them in our pocket. Miami plus 3.5 first half. Miami and Florida plus 6.5 against Duke for the game. One more time, Miami plus 3.5 first half and plus 6.5 for the game going against Duke. Next game up for us is going to be Florida, Alabama. Total at 174. Looks like the biggest total on the board for the night. Alabama at home is just absolutely deadly. That's kind of where we think where that's headed. On that one there. But Alabama's been deadly at home. Florida's been really good at home too, so on the road. Both teams like to push pace. Both teams like to shoot threes. But we're going to lay the points with Alabama, as they tend to crush folks when it's at home. Now on the road, it's a different story. The SEC's been tough on the road, I think, for everybody. But we do like Alabama being at home tonight. So Alabama minus 4.5 first half, minus 8.5 for the game. One more time, Alabama minus 4.5 first half, minus 8.5 for the game. Then we get into next game up on the board for us, as we're taking another dog, George Mason at home against Dayton. This line is a little funky. I thought this line would be closer to 5.5. It's at 3. So when the line seems a little bit off, there's probably more of a reason for it. And George Mason does well against Dayton at home. First matchup for him this season. But we will take George Mason at home with the points. Plus 1.5 first half, plus 3 for the game. One more time, George Mason plus 1.5 first half, plus 3 for the game. Next game up, another dog we're on. Clemson going to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech did beat Clemson in their neck of the woods, and now they're at home getting 8, 145.5 total. I don't know. I'm shocked that the number is this big. So Clemson, we've been on multiple times this year. Don't have a problem with Clemson, but Georgia Tech seems to light the lamp a little bit more at home. So we'll take the 8 points. I just think that if it's a scoring contest, that's going to kind of fall right into Georgia Tech's wheelhouse here. So Georgia Tech plus 4 first half, plus 8 for the game. One more time, Georgia Tech plus 4 first half and plus 8 for the game. And then as we get through, a lot of good games going on early. We looked at St. John's, Georgetown. I'll be really honest with you. Georgetown is just god-awful, but St. John's is just, after that letdown last week on the road when they were up 20 and then lose the game, it's just a little tough to go back them again. But we do have another 5 o'clock Arizona game, 7 o'clock East. Richmond going to Rhode Island. Richmond, one of the better teams in the conference with them and Dayton. Rhode Island, one of the worst teams in the conference. So only 5 here. We'll take the Spiders. Richmond minus 2.5 first half, -5 for the game. One more time, Richmond minus 2.5 first half and -5 for the game. Then we'll get into those 6 o'clock games. So 6 o'clock here, 8 o'clock East, or 7 o'clock Central. Drake and Belmont. Drake is probably the best team in the Missouri Valley. Laying 9.5, 9, some spots even 10. Total at 157. Belmont, not a bad team whatsoever. A lot much better at home, just like most conference games here. But Drake has been on a roll. They blow out their last matchup on Sunday. So we'll ride behind Drake one more time. -5.5 first half, -9.5 for the game. One more time, Drake -5.5 first half, -9.5 for the game. Then we'll get up into the next game that we're on. It's going to be Nebraska, Indiana. So this one here's got some value. Nebraska is favored on a couple different books, but DraftKings has this as a pick'em. We'll happily play the pick'em here. Nebraska with Hoiberg as coach has been fantastic. Indiana, I mean, it's hard to play at Indiana. Most teams do struggle there a little bit, no question about it. I remember being an Iowa fan, an Iowa State fan, and everything for years as a kid, and they could never win in Indiana. But those teams were much better than what Indiana's presenting these days. So we do like Nebraska here. We'll ride the Hoiberg train with the Cornhuskers. Money line first half and money line for the game. One more time, Nebraska, money line first half and money line for the game. Next game up for us, there was a couple good games that we're waiting to see, and I'll let you know. That's Georgia Vanderbilt. If that total goes up a little bit more, we might be on the under there. The Kentucky LSU game just be fun to bet the overs. I think they're going to be run up and down the court like crazy. Ole Miss playing in-state rival Mississippi State. And then we're on DePaul, Wisconsin. DePaul, Marquette. Marquette gets blown out at UConn. Nothing to be embarrassed about. They're not the only team that happens to. In fact, UConn just got blown out at Creighton. But DePaul, maybe one of the worst teams in NCAA basketball right now. You can throw them with Detroit Mercy, Georgetown. It's a lot of the same. But we're going to take Marquette here. We will lay the huge number. -26.5. So Marquette -14.5 first half, -26.5 for the game. One more time, Marquette -14.5 first half, -26.5 for the game. Next game up there we're going to be on is Colorado State, back in the rankings again, going to New Mexico, who now is currently unranked due to the fact they've had like 4 shitty ones in a row, but they are back at the pit. Unranked team versus ranked team. Unranked team at home laying points. The rule of thumb is, and it's been pretty magical all season long, is just take the unranked team and lay the points, and don't think too much about it on this one. So we'll stick with that trend there. New Mexico, -4 in the first half, -7 for the game. One more time, New Mexico, -4 first half, -7 for the game. Last game on the board, and we're on this one as well. So UNLV traveling to Air Force. Air Force is a little quirky to go play at, but UNLV a much better team. I'm surprised this one isn't double digits. And to be really honest, if it wasn't on at 11 o'clock Eastern, I think this game be getting a lot more action. But we'll lay the points with UNLV, -3 first half, -6 for the game. One more time, UNLV -3 first half, -6 for the game. So like I mentioned before, make sure you do check out the Google Sheets at the end of every show that we do. It'll be a link in the comments section. It'll say docs.google.spreadsheet, all that kind of fun stuff will be there for you. So make sure you do check that out when you do get some time. And then, like I said, not only that, what we got going on right now, but we've also got, if you're into baseball, we've got futures on baseball, plus the basketball bets that we've went over. And then also we have a separate category, kind of like for the odds and ends sports for us. So you're going to see UFC on there, golf on there. We did really well at Daytona as well. I don't know if we really have many Atlanta Speedway bets this weekend. We might play 1 or 2 there. But we're definitely going to have some golf bets that we'll have to get in on there for you. So make sure you do check out all those Google Sheets. They'll be listed like basically football 22, baseball 23, football 23-24, which just ended, basketball 23-24, which is going on currently. You'll also see 2024 baseball, and then 2024 golf, Formula One, UFC, and more. So kind of our odds and ends, the stuff that we still bet on, we post those, let you know all about those. So make sure you do check those out when you get some time. And like I mentioned, NBA back tomorrow, so we'll have a much longer show tomorrow with college and NBA betting going on. So make sure to check those out. And as always, if you can subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so we drop a new episode of bets, you get those first. Makes life really simple. Once you hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on for YouTube. You will get a notification to your phone or device to let you know sports bets for free as drops some new bets and give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading into the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.